start with this accessing your server for the day one. So what I'm gonna do today is we're gonna do this on the macOS. Um, we will start by creating a new server. So we're gonna go from the beginning so we can go through the whole process. So here we're thinking that you got to the management console, you were able to register into AWS. So we're gonna go into EC2. Um, well, let's see. The way you will, like, if you've never been here, you're not gonna have this. It's gonna look like this. So you can type EC2 here, and this is where the Elastic Cloud Computing is. So this is where you would create a, or yeah, this is where you create a new VM. So we're gonna come here, and the way you can either go through instances or running instances. I usually like to hit running instances. I just terminated one that I had created for this, but I want to do it again so everyone can see. So we're gonna go to launch instance, and here are the images. So basically, an image is just kind of like a pre-baked OS that Amazon has for this specific image. So we're going to choose Ubuntu. We're going to go select, and we're pretty much going to stay with all the defaults. So we're going to go to next configure. We're going to leave all of the defaults. I'm sure that we'll talk about this sometime. We're going to leave all the defaults. Keep going, keep going. Here, you don't have to add a tag, but if you want to add a tag, something that I would do is be owner, and I'll put my email, and I will put the purpose. So basically, tags are just something that you can use to kind of figure, like, so you can see what you're using what for what, right? Like the purpose of your resources on AWS, right? It helps you identify what project they belong to or whatever. Here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna leave it as everything default. This is not a best practice, as you will learn later, but this is what we're gonna do for now. Okay, so ideally you want to like only allow some traffic from only your computer, right? There are options here, but let's just leave it like that for now. So we're gonna go to review and launch. Everything looks good. All the defaults, launch. So this is right now we're gonna create a new key pair. So basically this is the way that we identify with AWS, right? Like they're gonna have one side of the SSH'ing, and we're gonna have the public side. So I want to give it a meaningful name, right? So like I want to know. Well, I'm just gonna use this for the Linux Upskill Challenge, right? So I want to give it that name so I know what kind of VMs are associated with this with this um, with this key. So I'm gonna download. It's gonna do its download thing. Download it, cool. So now I want to launch the instance. Okay. So now we're gonna give it a second. We're gonna see view instances. This usually takes not a while, but a little bit. So in the meantime, we're gonna open our terminal. So if you are a macOS user, what you would do is you would do command plus the spacebar, and this will bring out Spotlight. I have it as Alfred, but I mean you will have a Spotlight. So I would start typing terminal, and then hit enter, and it's gonna bring me to my terminal. So right now it's gonna bring me to my home folder. So from here, I want to move this key to somewhere where I know that I'll have it, right? Like I want to be able to move it because right now it's in the download folder, right? So if I go and check the downloads folder, I can see the key in there. So I want to move it to a folder that I'm going to create that I know that this is where it will be, right? So I'm going to make a folder for this. Linux Upskill Challenge. So I'm going to make a directory and I'm going to go into it. You can make it whatever, right? So now I'm in the home folder inside the Linux Upskill Challenge. So I want to move the key that I created into here. So I'm going to do mv downloads, and I want to move this key into this folder. So I'm going to move it from the downloads into my current directory. So if I do another ls, I'm going to be able to see this key. So now what we need to do is we need to change. Who can see it? Who can look at this key? So I want to do a change mod 400 on the key, and then we should be able to have a read-only key. So now this is all we need. Make sure that you know where this key is because you're gonna need it, okay? So now this is still initializing. Let's wait till it goes into booting, or it's already booted up. So ideally, none of this will cost you any money because this should be in the free tier for AWS. Sometimes I just try to check anyway. So you can, to connect to this, you're gonna click on the checkbox and you're gonna hit connect, and you're gonna have this little command. So I just copy this command, copy. Okay, and I'm gonna go into my terminal again. And since I'm here, this is gonna work. So like if I was in my folder, in my home folder, and I try to do this, I say yes, it's gonna tell me I cannot see the key. It doesn't tell you that you can see the key, but that's why. It says, you know, well, it tells you identity file, not accessible, no such file or directory. So you have to make sure that you are where your key is. Or if you're not, then you have to make sure that you are referencing where the key is. So instead of doing something like this, I would do something like, and then I would do that, right? But okay, so for the sake of following what the tutorial says, I'm just going to go into here, into the Linux Upskill Challenge folder that we created, where my my PEM file is, and I'm going to just copy paste the example that AWS gave me. So we're gonna do this. Ta-da! It's gonna, like, the first time that it does this, is gonna ask you for your fingerprint. Just type yes. I'm not sure why I didn't do it. Maybe because something that's happened. Anyway, so we're going to go into we SSH'd. Okay, so now we're on task 0. I'm blind. So let's go to here with AWS. Cool. So let's just make sure that we update our packages. We're just gonna copy sudo up. Yeah, beautiful, gorgeous. I like it. Let's get ready with this one. So once it does, boom. Now we're gonna do the second one, and I'm gonna hit yes. And I'm just gonna hit all the defaults like it says on the tutorial. Make sure that you don't try to change anything, because that will make it more difficult for you. Well, not more difficult, just any deviation will cause problems as of now, because the tutorial assumes that you're going to use all the defaults. So let's wait. Yep, I want to keep it local. Yep, enter, enter, and we're done. So we're done, and we're going to exit, and this is where this video